Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, welcome to the reflections of 33rd Ordinary Sunday ERC. 33rd Ordinary Sunday is the last Sunday in a liturgical year. Next Sunday will be the solemnity of Christ the King. On this last Sunday, the liturgy of the day also helps us to understand about the last days, the judgment days, and what will prevail at the last time. Once there was a man who was shot by a poisoned arrow. His relatives and cousins brought a doctor to him to remove the arrow. But the man refused to remove the arrow till he wanted to know who shot the arrow, whether the man is tall or short, white or black, and how he looked. Dear friends, our spiritual journey is also sometimes resembles the man shot with a poisoned arrow. We don't go for our spiritual practices unless we are first clarified with some doubts like, is there a hell? Is there a heaven? Will we be judged on our actions? What will happen to us after we die? And so forth. But dear friends, today learn, keep doing your work without thinking what is going to happen to you after this world. In today's first reading, which is taken from the prophet Malachi, we hear a statement which is said, "The Lord will come on an appointed day, and the good will prevail over the evil." Prophet Malachi came into the scenario post-exilic period. The temple was rebuilt in 515 BCE. And in this scenario, the people experienced the religious laxity. The religious leaders took the religion and faith for granted, and immortality grew in their life. In this context, the good people had a doubt. What will happen to us at the end of the day? And Prophet Malachi goes and tells them, the Lord will come and give judgment. And that judgment, all the good will prevail over the evil. That's why, dear friends, understand, after we are done with this world, with this life, we will have to answer for everything that we have done or we have not done. The second reading is taken from the second letter of St. Paul to the Thessalonians. The gist of today's reading is warning against idleness and laziness. The key sentence of today's reading is, "Let him who is not working not eat." Let me tell you the background. The first letter of St. Paul to the Thessalonians, chapter 5, which is the last chapter, prescribes about getting ready for the second coming of Christ. In the passage, Paul encourages the Thessalonian community that the coming of the Lord is imminent. This teaching was misinterpreted by the Thessalonians. They said, if the Lord is coming very soon, why should we work? Why should we waste our time in hard work and earning so many possessions? So they stopped working and then they started depending on others. To them, St. Paul gives his own example saying, "See, I have come to you preaching the gospel, and I have the right to eat the food set before me. But still, I have not bothered anyone. I have worked for my bread." In saying so, he tells, anyone who doesn't work, let him not eat. Dear friends in Christ, understand, we should work continuously even the Lord comes the very next day, or even the Lord comes even after 100 years. Because judgment is sure, but the time of judgment is not known. What we have at our disposal is we are supposed to be ready at any point of time for the Lord's arrival. The Gospel passage speaks about so many signs of the end time. It clearly tells about the Jerusalem temple. The Jerusalem temple, which was so magnificent in its structure, he says, there will not be one stone left upon the another one. There will be wars, there will be pestilences, and the family members will be fighting against each other. And these are some of the signs that the evangelist tells before the Lord's coming. Dear friends, look around the world, look at the news channels and understand. These signs are already existing in our current world. Don't you think it is high time for us to think about our spiritual journey? Don't you think we have to continuously work for the journey where we win the eternal crown? Therefore, dear friends, on this last Sunday of the liturgical year, let's take 3 important lessons. The first one, coming of the Lord is for sure, and we have to prepare ourselves for the second coming of the Lord. The second one, we have to continuously work towards the eternal goal without thinking when it will be and how it will be. Only then we are always ready for the second coming of Christ. The third one, all the good people need not to worry about the judgment, because the gospel ends saying, not a hair of your head will perish without my knowledge. Therefore, be good, be prepared, and welcome the Lord with a joyful heart. We will be in His kingdom. That God bless us all. Have a blessed Sunday.